Om Gate Gate Parangate Parasam Gate Bodhisattva Om Gate Gate Parangate Parasam Visoha Gate Para Bodhisattva Om Gate Gate Para Bodhisattva Om Gate Para Parasangate Bodhisattva Om Gate Gate Parasangate Parasangate Bodhisattva Om Gate Gate Parasangate Parasangate Bodhisattva Om Gate Gate Parasangate Bodhisattva Om Gate Gate Parasangate Bodhisattva Om Gate Gate Parasangate Bodhisattva. Welcome to the teaching on Pha Dampa Sangye's 108 lines. So last time when I was here, I taught the first 25 lines, and so I start now from 26. I think this time I can only go up to 50, another 25. Then next time when I come back in November, I will be back here in Toronto in November. I will go through the rest of the 25. Because no point of going through so far, I like to go slowly and read the lines and then give explanation. Okay. So everyone is welcome on Zoom. So here I read the Tibetan word first. Chida duni nam yong se mebe tu ta tata chojik tingruwa. So now translation here is about meditation on impermanence and meditation on death and dying. So it's line 26 here. You never know when the Lord of death will come. Always be alert and guard your mind, all people of Dingri. So he was teaching to the people of Dingri. That's where he lived, in the other side of the Mount Everest, in the place called Dingri Langkor in Tibet. I've been there myself when I was a little boy. And so here, my interpretation or commentary here. Death is definite, but time of death is uncertain. So you see, death is definite because everybody dies, nobody lives. forever and ever. And why do you want to live forever anyways? What's the point living so long? And it becomes a burden for other people. And then there were too many people. The earth has already so many people. Why? Why we want that? We don't want to live too long. And then your body is not working. So what's the point, right? And so it's good time to go when it's time to go, when karma is exhausted. And it's good to go when things are good. And yeah, so death is definite. But time is indefinite. You never know when it comes, right? There is even children die. We have very high infant mortalities today, and lots of children die. A lot of kids killed in wars, like in Gaza and so on and so forth. And so time of death is uncertain. People go to bed, never wake up. People go to work, never come home. People go to holiday, never come back. And something happens on the way. And this sort of thing happens any time. You suddenly got a stroke, die, or heart attack, boom, you're gone. So never know. Time is indefinite. You never know when it will happen. And people go to bed and do not wake up. They go to work and don't come back. Practice mindfulness of death. So one should meditate on practice of death. So now, what's the benefit of meditating on death and dying? Because we need to understand death and dying, and then we can help other people who are dying, right? We can help them. Otherwise, we don't know how to help, right? If we always afraid of dying and death, we don't know how to help other people. And also, when it comes to us, when we're dying, we need to help ourselves how to deal with it, right? So this is why it is important to meditate on death and dying. And also, death and meditation on death and dying is very powerful in terms of Dharma practice, because and it helps you to motivate for Dharma. In your mind, if you think, okay, I could die anytime, right? Then you start thinking, what do I do now? If death comes to me, I better do something. I want to die peacefully. And maybe I should do Poa practice, maybe I should do Vajrayogini practice or something, right? And many people want to die peacefully. Many people, they're not afraid of dying and they have no fear of dying, but they don't want to die with so much pain and fear. Last moment, some people have fear, not knowing where you're going, what happens, right? So this is why it is important to meditate on death and dying. You could say, well, I'm a young person, I don't need to worry about this and that. You never know, right? So this is why. Shivin nangbar suja me pembes toksun talachi dingriwa. So Pha Dampa Sangye says, Shivin nangbar suja me pembes. So when you die, nobody can help you, nobody can rescue you. Therefore, you should be always alert. Okay. On the morning of your death, nothing worldly will benefit you. Okay. And be cautious and guide yourself, O people of Dingri. That's what Pha Dampa Sangye said. When the morning of the death approaches, there is nothing that will benefit other than Dharma practice. Dharma practice is the most beneficial. Dharma practice help you at the time of death, and the rest doesn't help. It becomes actually problems. When you have whatever you have, it becomes hindrance. So Dharma practice help at the time of death because you can do Poa, you can meditate, you can have a calm mind, a peaceful mind, you're letting go everything, And not only that, after death, and then you can go through the bardo very peacefully, and then it continuously, next life, rebirth, and so on and so forth. Dharma is very, very precious. And be mindful and try to remember your guru's advice and the meditation for the death process. So I won't talk too much about this. So you should always remember guru's advice. What did the guru tell you? You can ask your guru, okay, what do I do when I'm dying? The guru will give you advice, right? And also think about death process, because some people just die like suddenly, like the boom, like this. But most people die slowly. When you're dying with a natural cause, old age, you die slowly. you don't die suddenly. Some people die suddenly because of heart attack or plane crash or something like that, or fell down from the mountains and fell down from the roof of the house, whatever, right? But most people, when they die with a natural cause, you go through slowly, you go through a process of dying, what we call chirim, in Tibetan word, chive rimba. Chiva is death, rim is like a process. So what happens? Your body, first body dissolving, and elements of the body dissolve. We have earth element, we have earth, water, fire, and wind, prana, slowly dissolving, right? And you can see it. Many older people are not even dying, and you see their body is slowly kind of shrinking. They get smaller and smaller, and they lose weight, not much flesh, not much hair, and their voice change, breathing, everything is dissolving, like dissolving. And some highly realized yogis, lamas, and they dissolve, the body completely dissolve, and they go through what we call the rainbow body experience. Your body dissolve and then body transform into like a rainbow. This happens for certain lamas. For example, in according our lineage, Gelugpa tradition, Gyal and Sapa, Pha Sangye, so seven gurus, they all achieve rainbow body. Okay, now I'll go through line 28. Chibar samne ki chang guba me rango rangi tunshi tingruwa. When you meditate on death and dying, you don't need anything. You should be responsible to guide yourself, or people of Dingri. So when you're dying, and you don't really need anything, what do you need? Because you're dying, right? So all you need is, the best thing what you need is help from the Guru, help from the Buddha, help from Bodhisattvas, and you need help, you need prayers, you need meditation, mantras, and poa practice. Things like that is the most helpful, and most helpful. Yeah, and the rest is doesn't really help. Doesn't help. Okay, so here is my commentary. Whenever you think about death, there is nothing in this world that could be useful for you, because you have to leave everything behind you. You're going to leave everything. So what can you do? You even have to leave your own body, and you leave your loved ones, family, and so on. The most beneficial thing you do is practice Dharma. Dharma practice is the most beneficial. Things like Pova and things like Lojong practice, so on. Path of transforming adverse conditions into the path of Dharma. Also, you could practice Pova, transferring your mind into the pure land of the Buddha. These are the most beneficial ones. Okay. Now, Tibetan line 29, here it says, Nima nuki tima chishin tu, yila temper chishi tingriwa. Nima nuki tima chishin. When the sun goes down, you see the shadow, right? Especially you're in a mountain, the big, big shadow. If you're in flat land, there's not much shadow. The sun going down straight down into the earth, And this is interesting. When I first came from Tibet, in Tibet we have so many mountains. So morning when sun rises, there's big shadows, and evening when sun go down, there's a big shadows. But when you're in flat land, like places like Bodh Gaya, Varanasi, there is no shadow. The striking thing is like sun come out right from the underground like this, from the ground like this, right? Never seen like this. And then when sun go down, you look the west, sun go down, it's like sinking into the earth. Very interesting, right? sun is red, it's sort of going down to the very different than going behind the mountain, right? There's no shadow. So interesting. Just as shadow from the sunset in the western direction, you should remember impermanent. All people think about Tingri. Life is in short. Life is short and moves fast like a shadow of the sun. You should remind yourself about natural impermanence. That, this one, shigalagala, any be pena nima nuguro nima nudigo nime ma trima de ma nime trima nima mandam ne rida de trima de tumudo odina yin ngore sila de de sidu kana ne so same de kale ma ji ni ko na yin che subude ma kale khum ma tu su ne do that when you die your mind is kind of dull and sleepy, slowly dissolving. Body is kind of slowly dissolving. Everything is dissolving, right? The elements are dissolving. And that's what happens. So one should meditate on that. Then it says, Chida Shinji, Medu Tsusung, Tutap, Lurichi Tingrua. The Lord of death always comes closer and closer. You should avoid untimely death or people of Dingri. 다 지다 신지 메두 추추 지다 신지 때문에 시가라 추 안주서 추추 연구였다. 다 요네 주답 루르지 있다. 바투야 택시제고 주도자가 택시제고 그래서 뭐 다 지다 신지 세대 용세대야 지 현황 저거들이 가당되게 제와지등이 들게등이 농게등 근데지 연구요 말이 요요 말 지다 신지 세대 나데 현황랑인데 제고로 와 마치 드는 순거래. 신앙하야로. 신앙 말은 저지기 말아야. 이 샘지부 셔다지네 데 신앙랑고 그래. 데 라마도 드는 랑고데 탑케와 지고로. 데 이나 지다 신지 들견동 되는 용인데 요 말에. 데 지다 신지 세대 저와 코란라 신지 세고래. 저와 코란지 여러. 어딜래 신지 세고. So here it says the Lord of death comes closer and closer. Who is the Lord of death? It sounds like some kind of monster guy coming towards you with big weapons, like torpedoes and rocket launcher, or maybe some kind of axe and noose, and maybe like some kind of weapon. There is no such thing, Lord of the Death, like this coming towards you, scare you at the time of death. No, there's no such thing like that. And it sounds like that because, but what is Lord of the Death? Lord of the death itself is called the Lord of the Death. And why it's called Lord? Because it's powerful, right? And the Shinji, Tibetan word Shinji, in Sanskrit word Yama, Yama. Then Shinji shi, Jigje la Shinji shi, Yamataka. So we call Yamataka or Shinji shi, Lord of the Death. What is Yamataka's role here? Yamataka's role is Lord of the Death, means Yamataka is actually the opposite of the death, opponent power of death. Jigje ya Shinji marda, Shinji then Jigje nor nun digum. Jigje Shinji nor digum. Jigje ne Shinji she, so the Shinji meba songi plati in the tele Shinji she is got. Yamataka is the opponent of death, one who destroys death. So if you practice Yamataka, then there is no death. You don't have to die. I mean, you do die, but you don't have to die with pain and suffering, misery, this and that. This is why Yamataka practice is powerful. Okay, Yama, the Lord of the dead, always coming closer and closer. You should prepare for your death and die without fear, and don't try run away from it. You don't have to run away. You can't run away from death anyway. No one. Doesn't matter how fast you run, and there's no vehicles. And even Elon Musk can't run away from death. He's got all the rockets. He's talking about sending people to the Mars, and well, maybe he can do that, sending people to the moon, sun. One day he'll die himself, and everybody dies. And you can't do anything, all right? So that's how it's part of life. We're human beings. Our body is not made to live forever and ever. It is just time comes, it slowly happens, right? And so, and now line 31, meto halo lichen chilokam lula lote meto tingruas. That meto ni ju ka yoshu do de meto. Yeah, we're ngazundi meto yoshu ta. Meto ngazundi street meto moshi nganzure. Yeah, we have the most beautiful garden here in this street. You know, all our neighbors are happy and they're all inspired. They want to know who did this. We have this lady here right in front of me, Arina. She does all the work. She's a wonderful gardener, right? And we appreciate so much work, dedication. She does this offering to all the Buddhas. Yeah. So but these flowers, and they don't live in the winter time. When it's autumn time, winter time, it's so cold, and they die, and then they come back again, right? They come back themselves. Especially, we have different kinds of flowers. We have perennials. We have annual flowers, different kinds of flowers. That metal, the part is the metal bay you know that don't carry the namshi much in the metal come to grow. Or then the metal comes at that's how. 어디 나지래 단단 가서 대회 선배 가라 수보 탕보 수보 약보 수보 배 탁보 아니 배 fit very fit 아니 수보 포사 모사 수보 닝제고 지보 어다 시우지 미강가서 모데 벤 모데 넘버 시우도스 저가 될 때서도 시우도스 내도 가시 타도랑데 이제 내용을 야 경고쳐야 되니 갈래는 경고쳐 강가다 기부라서 기모레서 다 미시 가서 랑시로. It's like that. Our body is like that. You could be a very, very handsome man, or you could be a most beautiful woman. You could be some kind of supermodel, right? And you have the most beautiful body. But then slowly, slowly you get old, and then kind of shocking, right? Wow, I didn't know she could be like this, an old lady. And he could be like this old man, He can't even walk now. And he's shaking his hands, shaking his head, and this and that. That's part of life, right? So it's like the flower, the beautiful flower, and then it sort of become dry and perennial flowers blossom every summer, but it dries up at the end of the season. Likewise, you should not think the human body lasts too long. Oh, people of Tingri. So this is very clear, right? So now, wonderful thing about that, I like the perennial flowers. Perennial, they just come back themselves, right? As long as you don't pull out the roots. Some people don't know, they make mistake when they pick up flowers, they pull the root. Then there's nothing left, right? Even mushrooms, when you pick up mushroom, you don't pull the root. You just take from the top part. That's what you eat, right? So if you leave the root, and mushrooms come back from that root, and so it's like a flower. So the human body is like a flower. It can be beautiful, but it's it dries up, right? Some people lie luton das. She will do you mark pay in jigs. You million the lubu thing was. That some people call Subu Ninjo and Zibo, but like Luton, Lamoluna Yoris. She do call any do get you do the near to Nick Subuna. Any Jumillion low thing was. That Zubunde any Jumilus or Jumilus is the Zubundil Timbo Yomares. So here, line 32. While you are alive, you could have a body of something similar that of the devas. So you could have a most beautiful body like the devas, right? You could have tall bodies or handsome bodies, beautiful bodies, whatever. But when you are dying, your body, your bones become weak. You get wrinkles and decaying marks, and body looks like it is being attacked by army of demons, and this illusory body deceives you, people of Dingri. So, see, when you're young, a lot of people, they have beautiful bodies, right? And then as you got older, your bones and body get weaker. And some of these people in America or in Korea and Japan, all these people, and they do all those cosmetic surgeries and spend so much money. And there's a famous place in Korea, and a place called Gangnam, Gangnam style music, Gangnam, place called Gangnam, and that's the way all the hospitals there. I've been there. I go to Korea a lot, so there's so many people come there, surgeries. A lot of Chinese women, yeah, and come there everywhere. Hotels, so many hotels. People do cosmetic surgeries. Even a man, Korean man, do cosmetic surgery. They're running around with a plastic thing on their face, and they do nose jobs, lip jobs, and ear jobs, all kinds of running around. Right? Spend so much money. And then they say the more you spend money, more you do cosmetic surgery, you look worse and worse. At some point, you don't even know who you are. You don't look like you, and you become kind of like almost like a ghost. And it's really weird, right? It's funny. So then it's like that. That when the subu the yabu ta king go chasun. That yamu mi shao ju je, na wu shao ju je, kar shao ju je. Ni jig do Korea lan do pe sha shu no song ta. Subu de ni pa ko ni ma me wa se de ni go se jam. Ra men de chen de ya shram che ju ba ma je ne. Do ngien ro dan do. Yar do ya fashion do ngien ro. Nge ma nge Calgary la ga ba ba chi wa. Nge me la wu men da. Yeah, I just the janal chi mi chertan isro de mi ma papa tu. De ko chen so you ne choga de nyam de nyeder. Choga ya ni se de no choga de mo chi de mi zo yam de so. Mi mo zo yam de ni ku ne. De kwang hang san xian. Kar che mo zhong ma de sam. Cho mi zo yam kar res. Ni se da ni se da ni ku de so. De ni a ni se ra. Ma ni ku yo. Cho nga ni don ka imas. 대 전이 좀 믹좀면 뭔가 시기들 가르쳐 와서 믹 샤지체 콜람도 저거를 말하지 믹 so it's like there's one couple, Tibetan couple living in Calgary. So she went to China or Korea somewhere. She did her eye lips. She made her eyes bigger or something. She wanted to have her eyes like those Indian girls, like the Bollywood girls. So she didn't tell the husband. So they went to bed, and next morning when he wakes up, her eyes are open. He didn't know she's sleeping or not. He got scared. And then later on said, how come you don't close your eyes? What's happened to you? And then she couldn't keep a secret. She said, well, I did eye surgery and I did eye job. She couldn't close her eyes. it, was, it was scary. That's nothing, did it? So it's funny, right? You try and play, playing with your body too much. Yeah, I mean, clothing is different. Or you can have an old car, get rid of old car, buy a new car, or you can fix the car, do all kinds of body work on the car, or you can do all renovate your house, repair your shoes, repair your clothing, but you can't do that too much on the body, otherwise, not so good. And I like what Jean Chrétien said. You know Jean Chrétien. He's got a twisted mouth. He said, "God made me this way." And this is how God made for me. I'm happy. I'm not ashamed of my mouth, shape of my mouth. He was the best prime minister, Canada, John Chrétien, and he refused to go to war in Iraq. When George W. Bush was start war in Iraq, John Chrétien refused. He said, "No, we're not. Canada's not going to join with George W. Bush. It's against the United Nations law. We don't have to join." And yeah, anyway, here now line 33. Tsungdun Dombo, Tsungsin Nangbar Cheese, George Porangiso, Tingriwa. Traders gather at the marketplace. When it ends, they will depart. It is only business partnership, and they are no longer your friends, O people of Dingri. 다 총전 넘버 총신 넘버 bên 총제거와 자니 마든들 총맥이 바자드 총을 잘라망고 미 뭐 좀 잘라망고게 에네 총도 가나 총제도 가라지 아 다시들이 아절라 구수되고 임베 보라 구수되고 the Belen Shin, Jigimogan, the Shin, Tungjan, and Zero, the governor in the Jigada, Kashin in Zero, the Kari in the Mentene, Sungjat Sata, Nimun, to do the Kangaso Nalva on the road. On the Dinik, Toboda, Tomo, you said, Damanayoma, that kind of Sungjata, what the day is, and so David Gabla, and ngōshi wā shingi da, tōpo shingi da, dā tsōng jiang tsōng shā da, dā mē dā yō da, yā giāng gō shā, yā shiro shiro jini, dini, mīk dāngi, rōba jiangi, rō jiangi, jiga, dindi shirā yō ma, sō sōng gōni pū pū pō mō dindi, yā gu jini, bāwa āma giāng gō shā, mīk dā rō, yab tā sāng, chī jā rōng bā lē nī pū pū mō tō sō, dindi rī dō, chī jā mī na shī jī, jini, bāwa āma lā yō, jab jī, jī, shirā di jī mō dā, sēm pōng bō rō, o dindi, yōr tā, dindi rī dī, trouble singing the tempo yomar. Mune trouble, hing tabo trouble in Jidu, Jive calendar, Jive calendar, Dui calendar, trouble singing the Nirwa, then they yomar, then Metabara. So it says, like, when you are getting together at trading place, like marketplace, right? We have Saturday markets right here behind. And people come together, hey, how's it going, everything, what's up, and everybody shake hands, trying to sell things, buy things like that. That's how it is, right? Do business, do business, business partners, right? And then everybody leaves end of the day, gone. Just like that, when we're alive, when things are going well, everybody comes and talk and do things. And as you get older and sick and getting close to death, not many people are coming to see you, trying to help you. They don't come around because only your children are people, good friends and loyal friends. They will come and help you and be with you and Dharma friend. This is why it is important to have Dharma friend. It is very important to Sangha. Someone you can rely on when you are sick and dying and so on and so forth. Line 34. Jumi Toyor Kijang Jilngi Base. Tende Tadan Dishi Tingruas. The illusory stone mound or boundary makers will definitely fall sooner or later. Create auspicious circumstances, enjoy life while you can, all people of Tingri. So that Jumi Toyo said, "Ngazo Tozu ya the European Singbatsu Toji Tigal Mig Dona Yo Tolo Yo Semjian Ramana the Chada, the Semjian the Shinga Masa that Toyo sent in Zuyorwa, but the nation Shinga Sunjibia, and the day she got it. Then they were Lagojan Rindo, not the day, the day in Zane, Tandanganzo. Mitsindil Zubo Tanda Yowa and meet those Tanda Yowa, Amjo Tanda Yo, Church Tuzo, Church, that can't to do Chewa, to so Tola Majo Cheroa, and the Kawasan Boroa, that can't to do Che, and the Geneta to Church Coca, we have a cup that can't to do Che, and Kawasan Boresam, Yishi Che, and Yis Yisiram, Gom, Otus Chewa, so illusory stone mound or boundary maker means when we do retreat, we put the boundary makers around the hermitage so that people know that you are in retreat. They don't just come. You won't have the random visitors, like some kind of random tourist or random visitor. So you put the marker here, what we call boundary marker, like that. But those boundary makers, they're not very stable, and they could fall down if there's big windstorm or whatever. Or if there's a big snowstorm, it could be buried, right? Like that, you never know. And so while you still have a good health, and then do the practice as much as possible, and also enjoy life while you can, and practice Dharma, enjoy Dharma life. Okay. So here my commentary. Life is like a signpost or boundary maker, even more like a dream. Lightning, rainbow, shadow, mirage, stars, butter lamp, and candlelight, morning dew, or a water bubble. Create good karma and merit and create virtues and good conditions while you can. Okay, now it's more the words, the lines are beautiful, very profound here. 샘지 자그 지장 푸릉예배 남방 다다 주지 들어와. The mind is like a vulture, certainly flies higher. Take off now and fly higher while you can, O people of Dingri. So Pha Dampa Sangye is saying, our mind is can go higher and higher. We can get realizations. We can have, if you keep practicing, you can have higher and higher realizations. Just like the vulture, the eagle can fly higher and higher like that. He can fly hundreds of miles a day, 800 miles a day. For example, they say Canada geese during the migration season flies for 800 kilometers or miles a day. That's a lot, right? Eagles can even fly even more and fly really high up, right? And so semji chagu jija purungibes. That same debe choyabo gomjevene same dini same de yabu cha ane tokpa je janju same de yabu je same na je nyingji gom nyingji yabu je dungni dawa gom dungni yabu je ini ya same de ya tokpa thombo jin ingures when cha chago yorwa chago da la puru de gal jang rumbo phe de go sa be thombo phe de go o den den yire nampang da da chujin. So they can interested da 단단히 누시 타르 물은 로야 탑시 제거레스 산지 신감은 로야 탑시 제거레스 베나 제자도 있는 중에 다와카지 신감은 로야 예전도 메게 신감 유로코비 신감으로 제레지 신감 뻗다가 근데 오바메 신감 대화지 산지를 신감 되네요 뭐지 오바메 신감 대화지 제레지 오바메 뻗다가 로메 신감 유로코바 예rumbo 제다 자와 쳔베 신감 가든 이가 춘지 내조마 가져메 신감 가져 신서다 된들다 로토야 답시 제거를 때 로토야 세다 소와야 왔다 간도야 원도 대바야 오지 이지야 오지는 된된도 두고 그랬다 제가라 지도는 남신도 그랬다 로알라는 제전도 내조마 칸도마스 마 앞에 네 소스 셈나도 네 야야야 되네 that show us so simply andro to work dini yungor nema tanda daram sala shungi kirti sangye rumbu chi lama chi towa amdalam peya was ta chi mu shiur kirti sangye rumbu chi keba chi mu shiure do pe pege Israel lungba de mengana shingi pe do then those ma ni zhe gang those ni zhe gang sim de ne cha ne ye mo shi wi do sa shingi pe ga la de da and the seven tabachi amdo kel alas lama shimbodel alas do ala chana karin jege dos oh ngata tengo ge la changman de pesos tengo ge la changman pes tengo ge hingam de shambal chatin de me tengo dos ta ene shambal ge tengo do tengo la changman tengo do ene nga jibo shibudo ta ngan do res ni yemo yende ni ene jema 좀 yemo shigi so I'm telling you a story, like there was a very famous Gelugpa Lama master called Kirti Senshab Rinpoche. He came from Tibet, from the Kirti monastery, and then he lived in Dharamsala for a long time. He taught at the children's village. And the Pusukal Tangbo, Vegetin Shore, Tangbo, Jagala Penda, Lama Sachimba Haku Yomare, Pecha Chenit, Sunda Ninga, Kevushu, Pusukan Boots, Sunda Ninga, Tea, no shoe. Then the Shuma, Lama Sobakon, the Hakun, Lama the Sachim Shurin, Donghani Gal Kevushu, that was Pusukan Mashu, and then Pusukan Boots, Sunda Ninga, Lama the Tabamambo Ragda. Then the way I chose all Calvero, Sunju Naronas, then he could be Ama, then So Kirti Sanjay Rinpoche traveled a lot and taught in the West. He was invited by Lama Zopa, and then at the end he got old. He died in the hospital in Israel, in Tel Aviv. And so when he was dying, he was lying down in a bed, and then his attendant, the monk, was sitting there and looking at him, and he was smiling, big smile, smiling. He was looking at this, looked towards the ceiling like this, smiling. And then the attendant said, "Alak, what you are seeing?" Alak is Amdo dialect. Alak means High Lama, venerable. What's going on? What's happening? He said, I see Kala Chakra, Mandala. I see Shambhala, pure and right here. I see all the deities coming to see me and they're asking me to come. I'm so happy, wow. I'm so happy. And he was just smiling, glowing, and glowing and glowing and smiling. And then smiling, he closed his eyes, still smiling. And then he's gone. Wow. All these nurses, people in hospital, they say, oh, what a man, what a Lama. He died with smiling. And he died with so much happiness. What a way to go. Good example, right? Perfect example. Yeah. That indigenous Xing Pingi Pero, that Xing Be because of Anzo, Bear, Shida, Yaburo. Indigenous that Tungi Lama in the Sang Shida, Kumbure, Mashi, Shida Kosambure, Tindi Lama, Tanda, your son, your. Okay, so I won't explain now. Time. Line 36. Ridu semje tinjin pamalas. Chamda nyingi gomshi tingruwa. Ta ndowa ridu rwa. Malada lama yeda mida tene tunduda. Nyawa da yeda o tene ndowa ridu yora. Ridu semje samje le pama yin sam gombores. And the other chamba gom nyingi gomshi tingruwa. Ta tingruwa chola tene makalu nangar. Tingri singe tu lungpa tanda chomolama chide yora pala. Tingri sa tanda chiruni ya ando. Tanda teba tanda nga nyanam rasa lungpa tewa. Tingri langkos Pha Dampa Sangye shusa tere. So all sentient beings in the six realms are like your parents. Meditate on loving kindness for all people of Dingri. So Pha Dampa Sangye say, now you should meditate on love and compassion for all sentient beings. And because all sentient beings are our mothers, remember their kindness and repay kindness. You do that, this. Always meditate on loving kindness and compassion. Line 37, Dangda legend kowe, tunang la asa, shedang dukse pungshi, tingruwa. Anger and hatred towards enemies confuse the mind. Abandon cruel minds towards to others, people of Dingri. We should not okay, anyway. So that is Dangda legend COVID to Nanglas, Shedang do some motion. Happen Namju so then this Shagala Songoma, Namju, Nanzoji, same Magas, the meeting the Ora make a shake, Kaleti Noda, Raman, Shijumambo, Shijumambo, the Noda, the Mamma, Jones Hare, Kashila Magaj, Kashila Magaj, that dash in the Yorba. That choy omaris that dash, Kashil dash, Kashil, Chomakashagos, da mes, that nye mes, Katu, Nanyum, in the Awoyors, Chabangone, and I'm dying. Da the news in the choy omaris, da go omar. Das da ina til zobogumsa, the dressing of the zobogums, Yawoyor. That dressing in Mevisha, Tachi, da ni, and the choy omaris. And then he shut down the Duxim, the Bongorism. So he's saying here, anger and hatred towards the enemies of confused mind. So, for example, we have anger naturally. It's a human nature. We have anger, right? And we have love, hatred, we have anger, we have everything. All the delusions is part of life, you know. And even little kids that get angry, they're angry with mother or father when they don't get enough food or don't get milk or don't get cookies or sweets. And some kids are really spoiled, right? So they get mad and screaming, yelling, and they have anger too. They have anger. I don't know hatred, but they have anger. That's just part of human nature, right? Animals have their anger towards each other, or especially when it comes to food, they'll fight over food, fight over the piece of meat, or fight over the dog food, whatever. It's part of human nature, right? So like that, and if you have anger towards somebody, you should let it go. Don't hold the anger inside. It doesn't do any good for others, and actually harms yourself. It destroys your own peace of mind. Don't hold anger. Just let it go, right? And also, if someone is causing problem for us, we should consider these people who cause problem. They are object of our meditation and compassion. They are a reminder of patience and perseverance. So don't take it them as the enemies or things like that. Just let it go. So this is wonderful, wonderful advice. Changsal Kowe, Chaksal Kowe, Luch Dibata, Jigdin Jaji Pungshi, Tirua. 다 차체 로아 코라제 초den의 코라제 라간의 코라제 루고 차체 되게 때 시라 다시 뭐래 시라까지 좀 뭐래 대 제외나 딕바타 루기 딕바타 차체는 루기 딕바타 많이 돼 가도는 아니 나기 딕바타 아니 대바제는 차체 코라제 로아 대바제는 아니 세미나 딕바타 세미나 단도 제시도 못 쓰다 그래 look dikwa so jaba tene majimbalam tene dikwa nga cha ten takwe ene luji dikwa da nga gi dikwa sengwa dikwa cha seven zubo pe ya wing zubo tangdang yung da ya shida gengo ri ya yin ju ni cha chi yin de chi se shi se sin ya pi mo na ya ji je ni ga yo sa sa chi ka le cha go se cha se nam ji gan zu bela ni ya peking na cha yung peking se na kala sa ma tu je xiangzi yong kala xinpo sambo peke nasa saji towa o tende nasa yon cha chewen pe pengyo rubu pengyo de doji den negol pede kala cha ki pe mumbu towa nema nga doji den negol pede kala jume ta sange la genchi do genchi gonglo dunchi tonga yinsa nima re cha tongda jiri shibje sego nima cha tongda jiri shibje sego do pere hang sans mane hang sans ning ngazo de jinda gi ngela sho gi ba sangana shemo cho pero nas la ngando me ma ve ngot sa me so ning ngazo be sha des baguna sha lu bagna pui shela choranas. So here's doing prostration and circumambulating. Circumambulation purifies defilements of the body, give up worldly activities. Lega chome ba jing ram na chi mang bu che den tu so thola ne cho yo ma ti ma che che lega che ko de che ko da su bu tu ya de chi tu lo tu ya de kala su chi kang ba zong ma su che ko ina de ya chome de ne ram ne ma che song ga na len do do a ji ya lan da ma de chome ba pen thol ma to na ne mang bu nyu ne ne ya sa ji de chi do chi ya lang de le cha ro pe sha de yo de ne me ge Salvation, I mean, so tindili chinchola chavi chosu nyo ya pon shade choke yo maro that is so la da chamle sangana to wa chi chamden that is so la de chi yo maro cha chi manin de de chi no pe ya bo yoris. So prostration and circumambulation is very important. Prostration. So for example, last year we built a beautiful stupa in our temple in Nelson, right? So now we do Kora every day. Not I try to do Kora, not every day, but last time when we did a Lamrim retreat, we did a Kora every morning. Circumambulate. It's beautiful feeling, beautiful energy, so inspiring. And we did a circumambulate Tibetan with Kora and do prostrations, and it's very inspiring. And so prostration is very important, purifies your body, all bodily karmas. Also, prostration heals. If you have a, let's say, indigestion, your stomach, okay, uh, indigestion and dyspepsia, if you have problem, health problem like allergic, uh, certain food that you're allergic, these a lot of people have problems, they talk, they're allergic to dairy, allergic to wheat, allergic to this and that, and people have lots of health issues and problems. I think one of the reasons why people have so many health problems and with food and allergic reactions and this and that because the food that we get is grow in places where there's lots of chemicals. For example, in China, India, the rice and wheat and everything that come from China, soil is terrible, very badly in fact affected by the pollution, right? Acid rain. So you see acid rain, people don't realize acid rain, the acid goes up into the clouds and they come down, acid rain. Like all these factories, all the smoke, clouds going up and then rain come down. And then in India, they use urea, all those fertilizer chemicals in the fields. And especially Monsanto, there's a big company called Monsanto. Monsanto is terrible. They buy all the small farms from people and then they're so greedy, right? And anyway, those food is really problem. So then people get reactions, stomach problems, and headaches, and migraine headaches, blood pressure goes up, diabetes, all kinds of health problems because of the food that where it comes from, you know. And so what I'm saying is prostration is very, very good. Purifies karma, purifies the bodily, like chemicals, whatever, indigestion. Prostration is good. You do prostration, you sweat. Yoga is very important. Go for hike, walking is very good. I try to walk every day 5 kilometers when I'm in Nelson. The other day I walked 9 kilometers in Toronto. Went over to the boardwalk on the beaches. Anyway, and prostration, circumambulate, stupa, kora is very important. And so, chancer chakso kowe luch debata, jikten chaji pong stingriwa. So, don't waste your time doing things that not really necessary, not so important, right? And okay, now not verse, line 39. Deji jamdo ngagi debata, tamal longdam malak stingriwa. Deji da nga daya chi kanima kaso da jamdo no yala so jamdo la so no mo ne jero ngan khan no yala so nga no yala so o tu ji ne nga ge dik bata ge res tamal longda ma ta ke je cho me mo bo shen ji na ngam lu ji ji she ne pa wala ji je ra ma la ni je nga zo lung ba na ngam ne chi ge da song je ge ji ma mo se cha no ji tam mo bo she de do a ge ngo zo mo ji chi ge lo chi ngo zo she ya tu zo yo ma ro 긴고 주시고 긴고 시고 인제스게 매와 내가 매워제 아니 리타지 흘러지 되네 남존 좀도 그렇게 잡나 만 시디고 어떤데 시죠 말스 근데 마시 저절로 쳐요 말스 아니 나자지네 야 디바인 거래 근데 디sabla 나사 잠루스데 아니 가레 베잘로 주시네 야부시라요 레슨 거 so it says reciting mantras saying prayers and taking refuge will purify defilements of speech. Do not chatter and gossip, O people of dignity. So don't talk about all kinds of chit chat, and gossiping is not so good for you, wasting time. Not good. Instead, you should say mantras and prayers and read books, read sutras, and read poems, read dohas, and so on and so forth. I remember when I was a little boy, my grandmother, she used to read three sutras. Nge momo yoro ame ama ngal bu jungal nge mo la tindu tando wondo ane mendo do sumlo tando taba chimbo 부치도 어디로 대차서는 면도 산지 멜레긴도 대로 대차서는 언도 오바메긴도 이로 딱와로 이말에 슈가 또 된지 걸로 Then Potichil, Nima juice, then Juni juice, and Guyo. Those when I was a little boy, my grandmother used to read 3 sutras: Medicine Buddha Sutra, Amitabha Buddha Sutra, and Sutra of Great Liberation. 3 sutras. Tarbachi Mendo. Mendo. Endo. Ndo is Tibetan word, means sutra. She used to read all that. I was so inspired. Always she's reading sutra. And she's got a prayer wheel. Mani kolondu kon. Any man in the special law. Any kalaso, chaso, mim, dubatini, yungro, the chate, sambate, churate, marte, pass, pay, nemo, the kanumana. And did it. Now, okay, line 40. Mugu dongwe yiji digbada. Lama chiwur kurji tingwa. So this is talking about the mind, right? Having pure devotion purify the mental defilements. To who? Who? Devotion to Buddha, devotion to Guru. Visualize Guru on the crown of your head, O people of Dingri. So you should develop devotion to the Buddha and Dharma and Guru. Why do we develop devotion to Buddha? Because Buddha is very kind to us. Dharma is very precious. Sangha is very precious. Guru is very kind. And therefore we should generate devotion. Devotion is the English word. In Tibetan word, mugu dungwe sa. Mugu sayade, beje tsigre. Mugu sayade, inje, tese tebashi, tebagom. Lama la tebagom, sanje la tebagom, cho la tebagom. Tebagom go jinsen karisena, sanje pime se karinshin barwa, sanje cho songra. Cho karinshin, cho gomni, cho jeni, so, ini, semju yari ndugu yarwa, then is cho che. Any lama karinshin bar, lame cho song, lame karinrawa, then cho soni de, so semju yari jen, yabu yungaro, then is lama shida karinshin bar. Then is lama chiwo, lama chiwo koshi tingruwa. So he says, Pha Dampa Sangye, you visualize Guru above your crown. Imagine Guru is always above your crown. For example, you see we have a Tara statue, right? There's Amitabha Buddha above Tara's crown. Why is Amitabha Buddha on Tara's crown? Because Amitabha Buddha was Tara's Guru. That's why she got Amitabha on her crown. Chandra Avalokiteshvara also has Amitabha on his crown. This is symbolic. Well, not just symbolic. Basically, it is explaining the true story. That's what happened. Okay, line 41. Lenji jebe shadang ruler tells us. Tell takbar manzi tingrua. Lenji jebe shadang ruler. Tell takbar manzi tingrua. You will separate from your bones and flesh, examine the impermanence of life, and do not cling to it, O people of Dingri. So, that lenji jibe shadu rubas. That lenji jes the nganzu bu junjun kan ame kopa ma tayon ruwa. To do shy or ruba or bu ruba bu sharo. What in it? Ruba shadu ruba. That tells the mount balani. Nimaji ishidu kan shada ruba kan kashan so. Namshi din roero. Tell a double message. It is just Michelle Taba Yomaris, Metaba Gongores. So when one should consider, one should know, one will be separate one day from my body, from my bones, from my flesh, and I leave everything back, leave everything behind, like a cocoon, like the butterfly flies out from the cocoon, and like that, you leave this body, and then your consciousness goes to Pure Land, or maybe go to Bardo, or wherever, impermanent, meditate on impermanent. Don't cling into this body. All people of Dingri. And, all right, line 42, Yuji Tambar. This is very beautiful. Yuji Tambar. Nyungme. Tenyo Zongsa. Telam Ponju made the Tingriwa. Most sacred place can be found within one's own mind. No need to search else for it, O people of Dingri. Yujidamba nyumit di yusung. Da sem yoro ngaranzu sem de be tere sungor. Da sem de be sa chimbushira yusungor. Kain sena sem de kornde nije tsawa yus. Korwe tsawa, tarbe tsawa. Da sem tuya. Da maa nyawandu wina, tundundu wina kawandu sem tuya. Sem rala yarwa. Ya tabando, sanje kumbando, kawandu wina sem rala. Sem namji nga tsukiya semba zana satan lamya sang. Semba ngena satan lamya ngen so. Sembal tamji samba tala rala ves odiri. Sambal rala. So he says the mind is the most sacred place can be found within one's own mind. So your mind is the root of everything. Your mind is root of happiness. Your mind is root of pure land. Your mind is root of liberation. Your mind is root of nirvana. When we talk about nirvana, right? In Theravada Buddhism, they talk about eternal bliss or nirvana. So the mind is the root of nirvana. When we Mahayana Buddhism, we talk about pure lands or bodhisattva and so on, so on. All these bodhisattva ideal, pure land, everything based on mind. See, your mind is the root of all that, and your happiness, and your suffering, everything is part of the mind. So if you it says you don't need to go somewhere else to trying to find the mind, sacred of mind, sacred of life. And you look at the mind, you'll find it. When I was in Australia, I know one woman. She and her husband, they divorced, and she was sad. He was sad. I don't know. They're both so sad, and so, but she doesn't know what to do. So she said one day she bought this van, like combi van, VW combi van. She packed all the food, and then she said, "I'm going to do soul searching." What are you talking about? Soul searching. What are you doing? She said, "I'm going to drive around Australia, soul searching." How do you find the soul going around Australia driving combi van? I thought very interesting. And I got one friend, Mongolian guy. I think he's got some kind of midlife crisis. He said to me, "I'm going to drive up to Alaska and then drive down all the way down to Chile, along the coast, from America, then to Mexico, then Guatemala, Nicaragua, Ecuador, and then Peru, and Chile, and Argentina, all the way." I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, because I want to find out who am I." I said, "You'll never find yourself. You won't last very long. Be careful. You could be kidnapped or hijacked by those banditos somewhere. You become casualties of banditos. Be careful." And be careful. You won't find anything. You go back to Mongolia, meditate, pray. And I said, "Come to me. I'll teach you how to find your your mind and peace and happiness. You come to me. I'll teach you." And then actually he stopped talking, stopped doing anything. He was just so confused. I don't know what to do. This is his life. It's like that. So, and most sacred place can be found within one's own mind. Sacred place. So if you meditate every day, keep meditating, do Zen practice, Theravadan Buddhist practice, mindfulness, vipassana, or Tibetan Buddhist practice, whatever you do, practice, meditate. You'll find the most sacred thing right here. What is the sacred? It's the Buddha nature, Tathagata Garbha. You'll find it. What else you want? That's the most sacred thing. Then you realize, one day I'm going to be enlightened. According to Zen Buddhism, saying everybody is destined to become Buddha. You see, they have a vow, right? Those sentient beings are numberless. I vow to save them. All right? You have this 4 prayers in Zen tradition, right? Theodore is laughing. and And though the delusions are endless, I vow to chop them. There's 4 vows, right? Although the delusions are endless, I will cut them off. So it's like that. You can get rid of all the defilements. You find the perfect happiness. You find the Buddha nature. You find the most sacred thing in your heart. You don't have to go anywhere. We have a story. I'll tell you the story. They are the Luji Abu Shujar Neshu and the Pamutubak Luji. Kajibelama Pamutubas. Pamutubas in the and Dongo Pamutuba, Miller, there's Gamboba, Miller was Kanga Lamari, Pamutubas. Pamutuba, the Korasan, Tanga Jagal, Negondogi, Dojidin Dogi, Waranas and Dogi, Sanji, Dajat, Shajat, Tomba Shajatova, Sanjas al Negondogi, then Chosons al Negondogi, then to do so what's the hog of it to do Jelak Dogi, Takom Jagi, and Atene, Shivichi, she was Sungdo, she was Sungot. And that be she was doing the Indona, then Sanji Shajatuba and Jay Mayo, Jigre, to do the Gongwin, Kando Mother, Kando to the Ganji, Dogi, Shivu, some deals. Then Coral Homacher, Lingre passage. Lingre, but that Coral Simdition, Tangi Lama, Jagal Penta, Lamgaya Boyomari, Shela Boyomari, Nasa Mambo Yata Lama Jagal Penta, Jagal Boruju Shandu, that sweet pearls, pt2 Maris. Then Koran Guru Tamata. Karsatan Gurding Yabuting in Tonda, the Nereta. Then Chugo Chasam Chichi. Jagala Pego Mares, Lama Jagala Mave, Pamotula use. Dongun Jagala Mave, Pamotula use. Japego Ayo Maritinebe. Sanji, such Chirang Tugal, Tula Sanji Ores. Dojitin Warner's Pego Mares. And to dredging Dogi to dredging goes to Pego Manganzo Subukoran to Terrace. The Ruba Yorisha Yoritini, Simbutin Casa Injikil James Gro, and then Mambo Yorin, Dog Maris, they Nyanga Yabushi, then Yabushi, then Lama Tunjur, that Jal Pigments. So the story is this. There's a very famous Kagiba Lama, his name is Pamoduba. He was a guru of Gamboba. Pamutuba keeps saying, I want to go to India, I want to meditate in Varanasi, I want to meditate in Bodh Gaya where Buddha was enlightened. I want to meditate in 8 channel grounds. I want to go and meditate in 24 sacred sites of Heruka, Vajrayogini, and so on and so on. He keeps saying this. Then he has one of his disciples called Lingrepa. Lingrepa was very worried. He said, my teacher, if he goes to India, he won't survive. He won't even make it there. There's no road. Could be there a lot of thieves on the road. There'll be malaria, all kinds of disease. And, I don't want him to go to India. So then he wrote a beautiful poem trying to stop his Lama going to India. So he said, look, you're a Buddha. You don't have to go to Bodh Gaya, Varanasi. Your mind is Buddha. Your heart is Bodh Gaya. Your heart is Varanasi. Okay? And your heart is the most sacred place. You don't need to go to India. Don't go there. Then he said, you said you want to go to charnel ground, cemeteries, this. You don't have to go there. Our body is charnel ground. Our body is cemetery. We have so many parasites. They are eating our body. And our body is always dying every moment. And then growing. And we go through every day. Death, old age, sickness, birth. This cycle of life. The body is going through. This body is live channel ground. You don't have to go to channel ground in India. You can meditate right here. Please don't go. So he wrote this beautiful poem. And then his guru said, you're right. I don't have to go to India. And my mind is in Buddha mind. And my heart is sacred place and holy place. And this body has got all kinds of germs and bacteria and parasites eating. This is chana ground. We got this inner demons, inner ghost right here eating the body. And this and then he changed his mind. He said, okay, you're right. I'm not going to India. So that was very successful. The disciple stopped the guru going carried away. He wanted to go to India, do this, do that, right? So that was good. What he disciple did. He basically made the offering for longevity, long life to his guru, right? That's the best kind of offering. That lama ling rebe that jagala my best. Charan took the Sangye said. Charan hinga den ne doji den chiwari chiba yomaris. Kusu to son to do around and then to do gom den pego maris. Then hinga yabu some. Then the lama pamodu yo tangmuni charan la dembareshas. Tanga jagal do mes. Then jagal my they yabu shu jong. And the lama la tinshu rwa. Dembal tinshu otus. Yabu shu loji yabu shu. Norjitamba semni terchi chong telan zeba med tingriwa. The most precious wealth is the mind itself. The mind never comes to an end. All people are dingri. Okay, so most precious wealth. What is most precious wealth? The most precious wealth is your mind, enlightened mind. That's the most precious wealth. Other wealth is no use. No jitamba sim terchin. That's also semi de yawo semi yawo. Then the gewa gong che yawo sem de put away. Doja shena tumu kange me semi yawo chen. That the tangas north urta jujala the masa nor chug north urangazo jigdeng north na chug north chaba inji chiyorwa jigdeng north na muda pesha da tene the jig karso da julu tene diamonds on the diamond tene pesha bangalore musha be jamaka ni shiu chen tene da moda mambunyo kangbo chimbunyo tene mambu jigdeng north garwa da chug north sem na la tene chug yawo 대바 야보지 또바 야보지 근데 저다 쳐노들다 대자 지슈리 간세는 다 배나 직딩이 노드 템보요 말에 배나 사윤자더니 인다말에 제네 총제도 가 총하로 배샤도 전자도 마차 야마차도 안더니 제 무위네 배샤 고마션도리 강박 멜은바게 템보요 말에서ብል 멍투제도 와 어떤 드니 요 말. 드링 슈퍼산 산이 방거래요 니가요. And then that shogi yapuchin semnal dogbada semnal gewa geve semjero tel tembo yabu that shidu kanani de kya yorwa jigding ju nor chala kya. So see, most precious wealth is the mind itself. Why? Because uh, if you have mind, good mind, virtuous mind, positive mind, if you have realization, Dharma realization, this wealth of Dharma realization, it will last you for the rest of your life, beyond this life, after you die, next life, life after life, always there. The virtue is there. Moves on. It's different than worldly wealth. Worldly money doesn't go very far. Money can be lost, can be stolen, value, currency will crash, and never know, right? And you could be somebody come and scam you, and your money is already gone. And some people they steal money. They're trying to find your PIN numbers, and they have all this. Sometimes they say they have some camera hiding somewhere when you buy something PIN number, and they already know. And scam. I was traveling one time to Australia, and I come back. I got visa. There's fraud. $6,000 fraud. Visa fraud. The visa company told me, "Hey, you got visa fraud," and so actually I found out. I found the visa company. They say, "Oh, we know this man," and he was traveling to China. He went to Indonesia somewhere, staying in nice hotels, rent a car, using my visa. All this $6,000 visa, 45 visa fraud, and you never know. But the visa company, they know this guy. They couldn't catch him, so they said, "Don't worry, we will, give you a brand new camera, visa card. Don't worry, you don't have to pay anything." Okay, well, that's good. Thank you. And so you see, never know, right? And so Dharma realization will last forever. You can have it with you and take it with you when you go to the next life or life after life, right? And yeah. Okay, now line 44. The most delicious food is taste of samadhi. You will not suffer from hunger. All people of Dingri. Tabjitamba, Sejitama, Dingri, Ro, Sejitamba, Dingri, Roncho, Tibe Dunga made the Dingruas. That say Kala saying on the Ombusayarwa, Kala Senis, Kala Shimshu, the church, any Dingins in common. Or the say Nan Yashu Teres. That Karisen, Dingins Gomjan, Dingins just the same lolo, same Yawishing. And this is Zubo de Pe, Nasamewa, Zubo Pe Lolo, Zubo Shangbo, Nimbo Yawingor. Then another Lamrim Narsungor, Sem Xinjiang, and Lu Xinjiang Sungdo, Sem Xinjiang, Lu Xinjiang, Sem Xinjiang Jona, Sem Jibo, Sem Lolo Shiwing, Zubo Yawing. In the end, that's card Master Yakshu de Dingin the race. Say here says, most delicious food is the taste of samadhi. So if you got samadhi, realization of samadhi, good concentration, then you can achieve what we call mind, what we call suppleness in English. Suppleness, Tibetan word, Xinjiang, suppleness. What it means, when you got good samadhi, your mind becomes very relaxed, very flexible, and no trauma, no grief, no pain, no suffering, no delusions. Your mind is so kind of blissed out most of the time. And sounds good, eh? Sounds good. And I was reading this book about life of Ajahn Chah. Ajahn Chah was a very famous monk in Thailand. Ajahn Chah. So it says that Ajahn Chah and some three monks, they meditated. They are forest monks. They spend all their life in meditating. So they went to see this monk, famous monk called Ajahn Man, M-U-N, Man, Ajahn Man. So they went and saw Ajahn Man, and Ajahn Man is considered he got clairvoyant, right? So then they went, so Ajahn Man had an audience, and then Ajahn Man gave some teachings, and then Ajahn Chah, he felt like his mind is like totally blissed out, and his body, he felt he was almost like levitating. He felt he was he felt he was going to levitate. He kind of got a little scared himself, and his mind was so blissed out. So then he was wondering, why is this? And then he said, it was the power of Ajahn Man, Ajahn Man's blessing. Like in Hindu sadhus, they talk about darshan, you sitting in front of the guru, you kind of spaced out, right? That sort of thing happened to me. I don't mean like I got feel levitating, but I was blessed out. Jebji songru machine, him and they pair wa, they pair them ni pair. Namji pick a hard nam sure, not the hard. In the Mount Pleasant Road, Rumbushi they shoot, then zing to Rumbushi 7 I Rumbushi comes in Senacondo, Jug T-shirt. Rumbushi send you to some other Simundo, choose some. Choose a Nipa Badanga day with it. Ara need there's Kurukuru. And the same Jibushi, you know, Rumbushi tea there, very Jibushi. And then, that Roja are, that single Rumbushi, but now Roja, that was Chibuchas. They didn't have to you motor changes, they dance. They see the existing James. And yeah, it was so nice. I am telling the story about Jebji Songrumbush when he was visiting Toronto. I mean, he visited twice. One time he was staying at this gentleman called Hart, his house near Mount Pleasant Road. So I go into Songrumbush's room, sitting there, and his attendant is making tea. Songrumbush only sleeps 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours. So I was just sitting there. He was giving commentary on church, and so I was so blessed out, And it's like we got timeless experience. Ni rumbuche nga chögi tatlan, rumbuche tere nang sang wari do, nga snes o ta chögi ta shina yin shuji yore aro, aro, yin shuji yore song, yin, chögi ta shina yin shuji yore aro. Tene ngema traba chögi yin, chögi ta ko, chögi ta kora, jimba tanga tanga la chögi ta tanga, yin shuji. So he was saying, when you get so excited, when you're kind of like obsessed, about church practice, and then you keep chanting all the time, even while you're going to the toilet when you're pissing. When you piss, you're still singing at the same time. You can't stop singing. You're so upset about. You're so excited about. You want to learn the melodies. It's kind of like that, obsessed. But it's a good obsession. That's what they say. Famous musicians, like they got or writers, they get obsessed. You have to be obsessed. Then you become a good writer, good musician, good, whatever. This is how kind of mind how the mind works, right? Anyway, so here, most delicious food is the taste of samadhi. You will not suffer from hunger or people dingri. Kuchi tamban tempe duzu, komje tamba tempe duzu tong, tela junche me de tingruwa. The most delicious drink is nectar of mindfulness. It will continue without end, all people of Dingri. So he's saying you should practice mindfulness. If you have a good mindfulness, it's like drinking the most delicious juice or drink. You drink something really delicious, like a coconut juice or watermelon juice or watermelon and pineapple mixed juice, something very, very tasty, right? Lychee juice and mixed fruit juice, freshly squeezed juice. It's so tasty, right? Like that, if you have good mindfulness practice, your mind is very peaceful and happy. It's like drinking good nectar. Dogji tamba, ta tere kasa de poget, komji tamba, tembe duzu tons. Ta gom yabu jabe tentini, yabu shivu chup ena, chunga moda shindo koi, yabu shivu tene tonga ero, shimbu shivu do ote na yi jene, gom yabu jan, sem lolo, yabu shivu yungre. Dogji tamba, rangjung yishi sosa, tela ndundame de tingruwa. So he's talking about best friend. What is the best friend? The holy friend is naturally born in that wisdom. There is no inherent gathering or departure. All people of Dingri. Here's my commentary. The friend who is reliable and will not deceive you is the innate born wisdom. With this friend, there is no confusion of inherent gathering and departure. So, toji tamba rangi, ta nganzo chokbo yorab, nganzo chidang jigde na chokbo singi yore, tomo yore ta, chodo yore tani, kangala chokbo yore ta, me suina chokbo yore, tomo yore, chodo yore, chokbo di gore, chokbo gore ba, choyo chigina chodo gore, na chokbo gore, oda chokbo yakshu, luwa mebe chokde, tani rangyung yishi sin. Rangjung he said, so same now, then gom yabu jen, then gom yabu jen, gom yaru chin, topo chen. O de you not then they got topo yakshu there, kind of dig it in so same de yaru same de la karsota kalab nana chiyor or chingo. So the holy friend is naturally born in it with wisdom. So here we're talking about friend. We have friends. As a human being, we need a friend. If you don't have friends, it's sad. As a growing a little boy or girl, you have a friend, the kids are happy. As you're growing up, teenage and adult, You have friends, different friends. If you're alone, it's hard. You need a friend. And then also for Dharma people, do they need friends? Yes, Dharma people need friends. Dharma friend. This is what we call Sangha. So you have Dharma friend, you help each other, and share your Dharma practice, inspire each other. So, and so here, um, this is the example friend, right? But here it says the real friend is naturally born innate wisdom, and what it means, if you realize your mind, true nature of the mind, dharmata, if you realize your true nature of the mind, Buddha nature, and voidness, clear light, and if you understand true nature of the mind, then that's the friend, your own mind. Ultimate nature of your mind is your friend, your best friend, because it's always with you. Doesn't matter. Your mind realization will guide you, protect you, help you, and rescue you when you're in trouble. This is why your realization, true nature of your mind is the reliable friend, tangible, good friend. Seja tamba ribi kuchung chol, tela chenchi medo tingruwa. The Holy Son to have is the son of inner knowledge, not subject to birth and death and people think. Da nganzo la puyor, pomoyor, era puyor, pomoyor, that's how it's got. That indicate there's grandchildren, so that pomogi, that pugu in the yorwa, or that's pugu to shida, pugu mena kabudoa. Jemeina choga pumenta ya gengo chediga yo jangi yo robo chingi yo mateni so semde chi machi chin so chibu de den sempos da boji inji ke ja lonely se da lonely we ro tende in da pudai puyo ya bore pomoyo ya pu pomola pomo yo tene shida ya kale shida ya ta kale ja ro ya chong ya bu shi ina pomo sim chibu yo ro nang mi yo chin chimbu chin chibu yo 어디나 이제는 church에 가서 셈나라스 다 보나기 보문나기 소소랑기 셈나리야 inner knowledge 소소랑기 에니베 저야 보시 되네 저기 되네 또봐 시랍 저 냠뇽도 야보사티 보다 보면 낭신레스 거 so it's like when you don't have a children as you get older it's hard can be lonely, right? For example, especially you live in a third world country, like, and especially you don't have a social benefit assistance, no pension, no old age security pension, this and that, no medical care. And who's going to look after you when you get old? That's why you have to have children. Children are the investment. They'll look after you. They'll feed you. That's why in places like in Tibet or China and Mongolia and India, and they have children. People want children. They need children, right? And children will look after you as you get older. And also, it's part of the culture, part of family tradition. You have to have children. And so and like that. And for as a Dharma practitioner or yogi and yogini, and the real children is inner knowledge, inner wisdom. Is your like a child. You look after yourself. You look after your mind. You look after your spiritual wealth. Your realization will look after you. It's like your children, right? That's why yogis and the monks and nuns, yogis, they don't have children, and they don't feel lonely, and they can look after themselves. They can meditate, and you have a Buddhas all the way. Buddhas are around you, Bodhisattva. Especially when you meditate, and you do refuge prayer, when you do the sadhanas, you do invocation, dakinis come, dakas come, protectors around you, Buddhas are in front of you, the Buddhas and Bodhisattva in front of you, with you for 24 hours. So how can you get lonely? You never get lonely. Because if you really believe Buddhas and Bodhisattvas with you, if you really practice the sadhana, you don't feel lonely. There's no moment of loneliness. See, they're here with you. You don't need to go and find a friend. And anyway, here, okay, line 48. So I think I should stop here now. Uh, okay, I will leave here. Line 48, I will leave here. Now, it's already 8 past. So if you have any questions about Pha Dampa Sangye's teachings on all these lines, they're very precious, beautiful. So the rest I will teach when I come back in November. I'll be back here in November, around November 8, no, November 10th and 11th. Any questions? Mm.
You often talk about that poem that the Chur practitioner wrote to his guru about not going to India. Like, I always hear you talk about it. Like, is that going to be in your new book?
Say again?
Is that poem going to be in your new Chur book?
I'm not sure. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
It's just you mention it almost every time I hear you teach.
So you want me to translate?
Or even just teach it one day.
Yeah.
Like you do so much for us, but you talk about it all the time.
Those kind of poem we call in Tibetan gur. We have a song, it's called lu. Lu or Milarepa singing, it's called gur. And in Sanskrit they call doha, D-O-H-A, doha. Saraha, Mahasiddha Saraha wrote a book called Doha. Doha for the king, Doha for the queen, Doha for the common people. It's all beautiful, poetic Dharma. Teaching Dharma through singing, through song. So Guru is like Milarepa's 100 songs. I mean, no song, 1,000 songs. Called Guru, Milen Gurum Boom. 100,000 songs of Milarepa is called Mile Guru Boom. Guru is song, Boom is 100,000. Milen Gurum Boom. Thank you. Yes, Jamie.
Rinpoche, do you know if there's a difference between the Hindu and the Buddhist concepts of samadhi?
Yeah.
Are they different in Hinduism from Buddhism?
Okay, Jamie asked a question. The definition of samadhi is Hindu and Buddhist, are they different? I don't really know much about samadhi teaching or samadhi according Hindu tradition. But my guess is generally speaking is the same. Samadhi. Samadhi is Sanskrit word, and Tibet word we call Tinginzin or Shine or Tinginzin or Gomjan. Not Gomdu, Tinginzin, Gomya Gochan, Shine. So also Hindu people they talk about Mahakalpa Samadhi, means somebody can meditate for practice go into samadhi for a long time. But in Buddhism we call Nyumjuk, Nyumjuk, and Gokpe Nyumjuk, which means you go into deep meditation for days and days. Don't eat food, don't drink. You just kind of bliss out, right, sitting there meditating, right? And go deeper state of meditation. So I think that one, Gokpe Nyumjuk, is similar to what they call Mahakalpa Samadhi. And basically it's the same. And yeah, same. Because Buddhism born in India, and Buddha himself, his parents, father, and basically the root is Hindu, right? And so we share a lot of things and the concepts and ideas. The only difference, there are some differences, of course. In Buddhism, we don't have creator, God, like Brahma, and so on and so forth. Okay. All right, we leave it here now. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Tujiche. Dedication. Gewande nyo duda lama sanje dujune doa chi cha malupa Eji sala goparesho chanchu semcho remboche machi panam jejuchi jiba nyamba me bayam kone konde mewa Tujiche, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche,
Amala,
and everyone.
Kajipegi.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Simon, Abula.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Sanyi Perwe. Jobu Perwe.